The sports story everybody's talking about, Jeremy Lin of the Knicks lifting the team to another storybook finish last night. It was a nail-biter. Will Connor was there at the game in Toronto. Will, where were your seats and what did it look like when he hit that three-pointer at the buzzer?
I was in the press booth about 20 rows back, and it was wild. The crowd didn't really know what to make of Lin for most of the game. They were booing him often and then cheering him when he made shots. But when that shot went in, the whole place erupted.
And you said that at some points they were cheering him. You know, what was it like in terms of those fans? They seemed to like love him at one moment, not love him at another. When the buzzer went off, what did everybody do? Did they rush the floor? What happened?
Yeah, everybody was on their feet for the last 2 minutes of the game. They were booing him because I think the Raptors fans, the loyal Raptors fans in the audience were trying to overcome all the Lin bandwagon fans. But by the end, everybody was cheering regardless.
I think we're going to show everybody that shot in just a moment. But right now we want to bring in Darren Everson. He's our sports guy. Jeremy Lin, everybody compares him to the Next Tebow. They keep waiting for him to sort of mess up. He hasn't done it yet. What is is he just sort of running on luck at this point? Obviously he's got talent. What is it?
It's amazing, and it goes beyond Tebow, because the thing with Tebow was we couldn't decide whether he was good or not. You know, even sports fans, we couldn't decide whether he was actually helping them win. This guy, he's doing things that Michael Jordan didn't do in his first few starts. I mean, he has had 20 points and 7 assists in every game so far as a starter. It's pretty amazing. Some
talk about whether he was working himself to the point of exhaustion, that the pace at this level was just not the pace he was used to in the developmental league. Are you seeing any signs of that, Darren?
Not so far, but it's very early. It's only been 5 starts so far. But I mean, you know, obviously he's a young guy. You know, the schedule in the developmental league, and then obviously the schedule he played when he was at Harvard is nothing like the NBA, especially this year when the schedule is compressed because of the lockout.
And we're looking at the win right now. That was, again, a three-point shot. You can see him sort of stand there. His teammates run up to him. There you go. Huge win.
The amazing thing about that was the one thing Lin has not been doing well is shooting three-pointers.
Right.
And there you have that last night.
But they trusted him with the ball, Darren. I mean, is that unusual for them? He hasn't been shooting well. I mean, do you think they sort of the coaches believe the hype around Jeremy Lin that he can do anything at this point?
At this point, yeah. But the thing that the next shoe to drop here is what's going to happen once Carmelo Anthony finally comes back, which is probably another game or 2 away. Right. How will they be able to coexist? Amari Stoudemire was one thing because he plays inside. Jeremy and he can work the pick and roll. But Carmelo is kind of a guy who takes the ball out on his own in isolation. Whether they can coexist is a big question.
Let's ask Will right now. Will, what did the rest of the team look like to you during the game? I mean, you know, folks are saying that it wasn't the best game for the Knicks. What could you tell throughout the game?
Yeah, well, even though Lin struggled early, he had 5 turnovers in the first half, they kept deferring to him and giving him control of the ball. And like you said at the end of the game, the coach D'Antoni had enough confidence in him to not take a timeout and let him go ahead and hold the ball there calmly for the last 10 seconds and hit that 3. So despite the struggles and despite the fact that he and Stoudemire weren't really gelling, the team rallied around him and had confidence to let him take that final shot.
Darren, is it unusual for a guy like Jeremy Lin, who again has not been in these clutch situations, right? He hasn't been in these sort of final buzzer moments, to just go down there and just say, not only make the shot, but to call for the shot, to say, I want that pressure.
It's not just unusual, but we haven't seen anything like this before. I mean, that's the amazing thing about this story. It's not just obviously his background, it's not just the Harvard thing, and it's not just the statistical start he's gotten off to. It's the combination. We've never seen anything like this. In terms of what he did last night and just all these clutch shots he's been making, it really is remarkable for a guy who was in the developmental league. These are usually guys, you have to understand, who are just brought in just to sit on the end of the bench for a few games. And he now is the star of the team.
It's amazing.
It's something that we have not seen anything before.
Do you think our appetite, the public's appetite for stars like this, I mean, is this part of why he's getting sort of so much attention? Is there something about our culture right now that we've turned back to sort of wanting to create these sports heroes out of the Tim Tebows, out of the Jeremy Lin, and why now?
There's no question. It just seems like people want to be up on what's new and what's hot. You know, we saw it last year with the Tebow thing, and this is that almost on speed. It's like, this only started about like a week or so ago. ago was his first start.
Yeah.
I mean, now already he is, you know, within a week and a half, a worldwide sensation. MSG's stock price is soaring. Tickets for tonight's game are up $100 over just a couple days ago.
Wow.
And this was a team that a week and a half ago seemed like it was almost dead and buried.
And they're saying you can't find any Jeremy Lin paraphernalia anywhere. Will, I wonder, did you see any of that for sale, Jeremy Lin jerseys, paraphernalia out there in Toronto?
There wasn't much for sale, no, but a lot of people had homemade T-shirts and signs and flags. There was a whole family sitting in front of me with homemade Linsanity T-shirts, and all I do is Lin T-shirts. So people got creative, even though there wasn't a lot of merchandise on sale in Canada.